Yo, what's going on, guys? It's Houston Sports Talk back into the video day, and today we have a trade. I'm serious when I say this. The last couple of days, it's been me of Thursday, woke up, said, there's going to be a trade today. I just feel it. There was no trade. And then yesterday on Friday, woke up, said the same thing. I said, it's less than a week away from the NBA trade deadline. There's going to be a trade today. Of course, there was no trade, and then, I was like, all right, maybe we won't see trades start happening. I literally last night went on transactions and looked when trades started happening last year before the deadline, and trades started happening 6 days before the deadline last year. And so I was thinking, okay, maybe we won't see deals start happening until Monday or Sunday. Well, Saturday morning we have a trade between two Western Conference teams. It's the Clippers and the Jazz striking a deal. This is a smaller deal, but I think this even though this is a smaller deal, I think this trade does mean something because the Clippers are in the Western Conference and contending to be in the playoffs. If they keep it up, they will be a top 6 seed and won't even have to be in the play-in, which I think is a big surprise for some people. A lot of people were not expecting the Clippers to be amazing this year. I think a lot of people didn't even have them in the top 10. I think a lot of people thought, okay, if James Harden plays good basketball and Kawhi can get healthy at some point in the season, maybe they can be a 10 or 9 seed. But I don't think a lot of people actually thought they could be a top 6 seed in the Western Conference, and that's what they are right now at 28-20 in the 6th seed in the West and have a 1-game lead on the Timberwolves, who are the 7th seed. So I think for the Clippers, if you're right now in this point, the goal is you got to stay a top 6 seed. You don't want to get in the way, especially in the Western Conference with how tough the Western Conference is. You don't want to have to get into the spot where you're in a play-in at a 7 or 8 seed and have to win a game or two to get into the playoffs. Clippers, I think the best spot for them is to be a 6 seed. And not only that, but to face a team like the Memphis Grizzlies at the 3 seed. I think that's a good matchup for the Clippers because the Grizzlies are a great team. Great team, obviously, right? No one's doubting that. But the Grizzlies have their fair share of injury problems and have had that, this season, just like the Clippers have had in years prior. And I think that's why that's a good matchup. So if God forbid, Kawhi Leonard misses a game, hey, maybe on the same side, hey, Ja could get injured. Someone else could get injury. The injuries have been tough for the Grizzlies as well this year. So that's why I feel like the Grizzlies would be a great first-round matchup for the Clippers. The Grizzlies would be a great first-round matchup for the Clippers. So you got to improve the roster. Look, I don't think the roster needs many improvements, but there were ways to improve the roster going into the trade deadline. I doubt that the Clippers do much more after this deal. I really, really doubt the Clippers do anything else after this trade. Maybe they make one small deal or maybe add through the buyout market. But this, I think, is probably it for the Clippers. But I still like the addition because I still think the team improved throughout this trade. They are trading for Drew Eubanks and Patty Mills. You can't trade Drew Eubanks and not include Patty Mills. This is going to be the third team that these two guys play on the same team with. Started off in San Antonio, Drew Eubanks and both Drew Eubanks and Patty Mills were playing with each other in San Antonio, and then it happened in Utah this season, and now they're both getting traded to the Clippers. It would definitely be unfortunate if Patty Mills got cut. I don't know. We'll see. That's going to be another interesting thing to watch out for. Could Patty Mills get cut? Clippers try to open up a roster spot. That is definitely a possibility. But what did the Clippers give up in this trade? I think one of their biggest trade assets that is not surprising that they're giving up in this trade is P.J. Tucker, who was an expiring deal and had $11 million on his last year, the last year of his contract, and has not played at all this season. And then the other guy going, if you're going to acquire a backup center like Drew Eubanks, you don't need Mo Bamba anymore, and that's why he's headed to Utah. And headed with Mo Bamba and P.J. Tucker is a future second-round pick and cash. So cash, second-round pick, P.J. Tucker, Mo Bamba for Eubanks and Patty Mills. Let's go over what Eubanks has done this season. He hasn't been amazing, but to me, he's been better than Mo Bamba has been. I think he's an upgrade over Mo Bamba. He's averaging 6 points per game, 5 rebounds per game, 1 assist per game, half a steal per game, 1 block per game, and is shooting 61% from the floor. And he's even shooting 60% from three, although he has not taken many threes this season. He's only attempted 5 threes this season, but it's 3 for 5. 3 for 5 is still good. So, but he's had a good season this year for Utah. And then the other player is Patty Mills, very old veteran from Australia. He's going to be 37 at the end of the season. But Patty Mills has not played much this season, but when he has played, he's played pretty solid. 17 games, 15 minutes per game. His shooting percentage is actually really bad if you look at his career shooting. Like, he's shooting 34% on 5 attempts per game. When he's in his career, he's shot over 42%. And from three, he's shooting 30%. In his career, he shot 39% and was shooting 40% from three in his career before this season, but is still averaging 4.5 points per game with 1 rebound per game, over 1 assist per game, 1 steal per game. I think he's a very solid defensive player, which would be nice, and does not turn the ball over that much. Didn't even average a turnover per game, almost a turnover per game with the Jazz this season in 15 minutes per game. Look, I think there's definitely a possibility he gets cut, but I don't know. We'll see what happens. I mean, but what did the Clippers give up? Mo Bamba, who this season has played 28 games, 2 starts, 13 minutes per game, averaging 5 points per game, 4 rebounds per game, 1 block per game, 0.3 steals per game, and from three, he's shooting 30%. From the floor, he's shooting 46%. He's definitely having a solid season. I just don't think he's as good as Drew Eubanks is. I mean, it's definitely close, but I think Drew Eubanks is better. And not only that, but you get to get rid of this contract that is definitely been hurting the Clippers, and that's PJ Tucker. Remember when I said that I didn't know if Patty Mills would get cut or not? I am 99.9% sure the Utah Jazz are going to cut PJ Tucker. PJ Tucker wants to play on a playoff contender. The Jazz are obviously not that. And the Jazz do not want a 39-year-old player on their roster who has an $11 million contract. They're going to let go of that contract. They're going to free up some money by cutting PJ Tucker. I think they're going to definitely keep Mo Bamba. He'll be the backup center, so I don't expect Mo Bamba going anywhere. But I think PJ Tucker 100% will get cut, and we'll see him sign with a contender. PJ Tucker has not played this season at all. The whole season has been out with personal issues, which really means the team and him do not want anything to do with each other. And last year, he played 31 games to 10 starts, 15 minutes per game, 36% from the floor, 37% from three. He's a career three-point shooter, 37% in his 3 seasons. His point per game average is one of his lowest of his career. No, the lowest of his career at 1.7. But he did average a total of 3 rebounds per game and was obviously great defensively, which he's always great defensively. PJ Tucker has always been such a great defensive player. And this was in 15 minutes per game. Now, the year before, when he got some more minutes, actually played a little bit with Philadelphia as a starter in 2022-23 season. He played 75 games, 75 starts, 25 minutes per game. And he averaged 4 points per game, 4 rebounds per game, half a steal per game, 1 assist per game. From three, he shot 39%. And then you're going to go to the Miami Heat. He was a big part of the Miami Heat. One of the Miami Heat's playoff runs in the 2021-22 season, made it to the Eastern Conference Finals. He played 71 games and 70 starts, averaged 28 minutes per game, 7.6 points per game, 6 rebounds per game, 2 assists per game, 1 steal per game, and shot 41% from three. And obviously, we all know, if you've been watching basketball for at least 5 years or longer, how big of a role PJ Tucker played in the Milwaukee Bucks championship team. And he played a huge role in that team. And, with that team, had 23 games, 19 starts in their championship run, averaged 30 minutes per game in the playoffs, averaging 4 points per game, 5 rebounds per game, 1 assist per game. I know that doesn't sound like huge numbers, but it's the defensive numbers that he put up. Averaged 1 steal per game, was lockdown defender for the Bucks in their playoff run, and obviously shot great from three through their playoff run, which was huge. So, yeah. But I think PJ Tucker can definitely help a contender. He's done that in the last couple of years. He was great for Miami. He was great for Milwaukee. I know that was a couple years ago. But look, I think he can still. I think he's definitely gotten worse as a player, but I think he can still shoot well from three. He's still a good corner three shooter, and I think he can still make an impact defensively. So we'll see where he ends up, because I know he's not ending up in Utah. They're definitely going to cut PJ Tucker. Let me know your thoughts on the Utah Jazz and the Los Angeles Clippers making this trade in the comment section, and peace out.